So off today, it is Labor Day and 2025. And I want to talk about reversing type 2 diabetes and how the word cheat, how we should probably get rid of that word. Like today, for instance, I thought it was a very powerful message to share with you guys. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do my walk today. I'm not going to do my push-ups. I'm going to take a day off, right? And I want to do I just want to take a day off, right? And I think a lot of people call this a cheat day, like where you cheat. And the thought is like, if you had a wife that you loved, would you cheat on your wife? Right? Why would we cheat on ourselves? Like, why would we cheat ourselves? I always thought, like, even let's replace the word cheat, if when it comes to dieting with type 2 diabetes, to treat. So I'd rather treat myself to something, say like sushi, which I eat often, from time to time, only when I celebrate something, because I don't really like the carbs. And a lot of people don't know that they put sugar in the rice. So it's like loaded with sugar and the sauces and everything. But I've reversed my type 2 diabetes and my insulin is sensitive, and it kicks in and takes care of the problem relatively fast. But it's something I don't like to do all the time because I know it's not great for my health, right? But today I was like actually craving my walk. And I tried to tell myself, because I'm experiencing burnout. I'm in roofing construction. I'm a single dad. I got a special needs kid, 17-year-old still in diapers and shit. And there's just so much I got to do. And I just felt like completely worn out today. And I was like, why don't I just cheat and not walk, not do my push-ups, and just take one day off? And it was like, why would I do that? Like, this is to better my health. It makes me feel a lot better, even when I don't feel like doing it. You guys, it's not like I wake up every day and I'm like, oh my God, let's do, some intense push-ups and shit for my health. A lot of times I'm just like, oh, fuck, my elbow's kind of sore. I'm tired. But when I do it, I feel better. But the reason, the whole motive behind doing things is because it's better for my health. It makes me feel better. Like when I go for a walk, it actually makes me sleep better. It's a stress relief. Even, believe it or not, doing some like push-ups and shit is like, it's very therapeutic. And I thought to myself, I don't really truly honestly feel like doing these right now, but I know I'll live a better life. And it's something that's necessary, right? So why would I cheat myself out of better health, right? And it's going to make me feel better once I get it done. So I don't know. I guess the thing is like, I see people into more quantity than quality. Like, look at how many push-ups I could do and stuff. Like, that's probably a good example. Like, I have a special needs kid, so I can't go to a gym. So I like lift like 5-gallon water buckets, full of sand and shit like that. But I make every move count. I do more like resistance training. And when I'm doing it, I'm not looking for like, look at how many reps I could do. Let's look at the most weight I could lift. I'm like, I do it intentionally, if this makes any sense. And with more like harder effort. And I was excited. Like, I've been taking pictures of myself every weekend, and I could start to see that I'm starting to bulk up a little bit. And I'm really excited about that. That's like my whole thing, is I just want to bulk a little bit muscle. I got a skinny frame. And it really like got me excited. Like, as I'm doing the push-ups, I just kept thinking to myself, one day you're going to look the way you want to look. You're going to have that muscle mass for your older age. And the more and more I procrastinate, that's not going to happen. So like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are basically my push-up days. And if I miss like Friday, I'll do it on a Saturday. So it just dawned on me though, like, why would I forsake myself of doing those things when I know that they're good for me? And it's what I want to achieve, right? And I think we get a lot of stuff in the way where we're like, well, I don't feel like doing it today, or we come up with some excuses, and that doesn't help, because the goal we're after, if it's to reverse type 2 diabetes, bulk up on some muscle, lose some weight, whatever it is, fall in love with this, like marry it. You know what I mean? Like, love to do it. If you, when you're doing content creation, that's one thing they said is it equates to reversing type 2 diabetes, is like, if you wake up every morning and it's a job, it's not something that you absolutely love to do, you're excited, right? And you put on a video like I've been doing, and you get 1 view or no views, and you keep doing this, but there's just something in you that you're not passionate about it. You're doing it for, the wrong reasons. At some point, you're going to burn out. And I think we need to get in our heads, like, if we want to reverse type 2 diabetes or whatever it is that we're doing, fall in love with the fucking process. Like, be excited. If you're not excited about, reversing type 2 diabetes, you want to stay on meds, right? You don't want to lose weight. You're not going to lose weight. Eventually, it's going to fail. You have to go into this falling in love with the whole process and make each move count. It's not about quantity. It's about quality, right? Like, I do sustained, slow push-ups. Like, they fucking hurt. But I know that that's like building me up, and I can start to see the difference. And that's where I stayed excited to say, you know what? I don't deserve to cheat on myself. Why would I even do that? I don't know. Maybe I'm just pushing this out in some crazy direction or making over drama of it. But it really does seem like that is one of the keys that we all need to get through our heads is, do you really want it or not, right? Let's fucking do it or not. All right, let's take a look at what my blood sugars look like for today on Labor Day. All right, so here we are. This is the interface to my continuous glucose monitor. And I want to take you guys through last night's blood sugars. And as you can see, I was up a little bit in like the hundreds, low 90s. And this is around 10:30. I think I went to bed at like 11, 12, man. I haven't been up that late in a long time. But due to the intermittent fasting and things I've been doing, even though I've been having a treat day, like this day, what was this Sunday? I ate like a bunch of unnecessary foods. I just gorged, man. But still, the reason why I want to show you this is that my blood sugar still stayed in the 90s pretty much almost all the entire night. I think there was at one point I hit like 88 right here. I'd like to point out too that I'm 100% time in range. That means if I stay in this optimal glucose range, which is this gray area, that means I'm achieving 100, which is very difficult to do. So even on a treat day, not a cheat day, I'm still averaging really, really great, like low 90s. It wasn't though till I woke up in the morning. It was around 7, I think right here. No, actually I got out of bed. I think it was 8. When I got out of bed, I was at about 100 milligrams per deciliter, 99, 100, whatever you want to call that. So that's not the most optimal, but that is probably the dawn phenomenon, because if you guys can see here, usually I'm used to waking up about 5:30, and that was about 99 or about 100. So yeah, I woke up with blood sugars a little bit higher than normal, especially if you've been following me. I show my blood sugars every single day for you guys, so you guys can gain knowledge and learn from what I've done, but actually see it instead of me explaining it or telling you, what's great for you. I'm just showing you what works for me. But yeah, I woke up and blood sugars went back down, and I had myself a sparkling lemon water as I usually do, and blood sugars were 92 at that point. This is just, I think it was a Topo Chico that I ate or drank with a half a lemon. This gives me electrolytes and also like kind of staves off the hunger if you're hungry in the morning. And I had like I had a sour stomach for some reason. So the bubblies always help with that. So these things are really great. One of the things I started doing too is putting a little pinch of salt in it. So yeah, blood sugars didn't really raise too much. I mean, I drank it and it seems like it went from 90 to 103. I don't know what that's all about, but that's nothing too big to write home about and cause any drama. But right here, I actually had, I think it was filet mignon. Let's go. Yeah, filet mignon. Guys, I went nuts. I bought a bunch of ribs and stuff. I barbecued way, like I put everything on the smoker and just way over ate. But it's the first morning I think I could ever say in the history of my life that I ate filet mignon for dinner. And you can see it had no effect on my blood sugars, hardly any at all. This was an interesting one here. This was, I believe, the Nutella. Yeah, this is Nutella. This is a homemade recipe I made using hazelnuts, cocoa powder. I think it was a little bit of salt, some vanilla extract, and what was the other one? A little bit of coconut milk and some coconut oil. And very simple to make, a homemade recipe. And you guys can see when I ate it, I was like 108. I think at the highest point was 113. And it came right back down within 2 hours. And it's been perfectly fine. So it's a Nutella that's not even going to spike your blood sugars. That's what I'm here to do, is invent new foods, just like the homemade Nutella, blood sugar test them out on my continuous glucose monitor to make sure that it's all going to be kosher. And remember, guys, what works for me may not work for you, but I'm pretty sure about 90% of you make my homemade Nutella, you're not going to have a huge spike just like that. I'm still in the optimal glucose range, never even went above 120. So this is like a really delicious treat. So if you are going to have a cheat day, I think you should call it a treat day. And instead of eating regular Nutella that's going to spike you through the ceiling, maybe try the homemade Nutella. You know, that's the problem with me though, is I have to make everything. I don't like store-bought. It's full of preservatives and shit like that. So a lot of the foods I make are homemade from scratch, just like this Nutella. But the cool thing is you can make a huge batch of it, and then you'll have it for like weeks if you don't eat the whole goddamn thing. So actually my blood sugars came back down. I didn't even do my morning walk this morning. Like I said, I tried to take the day off and not walk. And yeah, but this was actually right here in this range. I started doing my push-ups. Let me see, this was about noon. Yeah, so I did my push-ups because it is Monday. I got to my senses. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Why am I going to do this to myself? Like, push-up day is Monday. Let's do our fucking push-ups. I did my push-ups, and this is what I was talking about. It like burned a lot of that fuel, the carbohydrates or anything that I had at this point, and brought me right down to like 88, the lowest I was, you know, pretty much the whole entire day. And you can see we're going pretty damn well here for a while. So those push-ups or going for a walk, the physical activity is just so great. And that's why I said, why would I forsake myself and cheat myself out of, you know, good health here? So then, of course, I fucked the whole thing up with strawberries. I cut strawberries in half. I had probably about 10 of them, and they weren't so ripe. They're like not really sweet. I grow a lot of my own food too, guys. I live off grid. And when you have a homegrown strawberry, you can't, your mouth's fucked. You go to the store, it just tastes like water, right? So I actually put some Nutella on those, the homemade Nutella, and some homemade heavy whipped cream I made out of raw milk and vanilla extract and some monk fruit sweetener. And as you guys can see, I think it was like 8 or 10 strawberries cut in half, which was like 20 slices a piece, loaded with whipped cream and Nutella. And look at this. Nothing at all. I think it finally started to kick in a little bit here, but nothing really to get too drama about. Right here, I actually had, let me see, I had my Twinkie. Yeah, I got to talk about the Twinkie. I also had a protein shake. It was just too convenient. It was a little warm today. I like these things with ice. It tastes like a chocolate milkshake, really. But Twinkie, yeah, I don't know if I have a picture of it. Let me see if I can find a picture of the Twinkie. I do not. It's coming soon, though. Yeah, I made a Twinkie out of my egg bread. It's only a 5-ingredient recipe that's low carb. Obviously, you can see it has no spike. But got the Twinkie, and with the egg bread, I made like a really flat like tortilla. I heated up some Nutella nice and hot, spread it all over the egg bread. It's like, just think of like a flour tortilla, but made out of egg. It's real spongy. And then I put sliced strawberries in it, rolled that whole thing up, brushed it with butter, and put it in the air fryer. And I am talking like, it's junk food. Don't get me wrong. It's junk food. I'm not saying you should eat this all the time, but it's Labor Day. And I was like, fuck, you know, made me and one, the baby boss, my daughter, made us a big old log of it. Ate a whole piece about probably 5 inches long by about this thick. And guys, look at, with the protein shake, no spike pretty much whatsoever. So that's something there. I've got a lot of, if you guys are going to do junk food, I've got junk foods for you that I'm testing out, that I'm inventing and making. So, I mean, I never really would have thought I'd try to reinvent a Twinkie. It just came to my mind today. I was like, fuck it. Let's make a fucking Twinkie and see if we can do it. So pretty much at this point, I almost feel like I can remake any food. Comment and let me know if there's a specific food you'd like me to remake and blood test for you guys. All right, this is bringing us over to dinner. I forgot, what did I have right here? Oh, I had a cucumber lime mint drink. And you guys can see, had no really big effect. I do want to say some fucking diarrhea, though. I had 2 of these bastards. So that was like 2 whole cucumbers with probably like, what would that be, like 3 limes? And I'm telling you, I probably almost shit my pants. Like, I'm not used to that much vegetables. I think the juice, the cucumber juice got me. I don't know, but it's very unpleasant feeling. The reason why I'm saying this too is like, I'm not used to that kind of poops. Like, I eat mostly carnivore. What's really nice is there's almost no smell at all. There's no cleanup. I know it sounds disgusting, but you know, there's a difference. I can tell my health by the poops, and I get a nice even poop with little cracks in it, as they say. There's a whole thing, like you can see, like between constipation and diarrhea, there's actually a middle ground where you know how your health is by checking out your poop. I know it sounds obscure, weird, probably disgusting, but it makes fucking sense, right? So yeah. Moving forward though, I had smoked ribs today. Again, I said I made enough ribs for the next 3 days, I think. These were absolutely delicious, fall off the fucking bone. I got beef dino ribs and smoked them for probably about 10 hours. Let them rest in the ice chest for another 2. And they just came out fucking bomb. But yeah, that Santa Maria seasoning, I probably had about 2 ribs. They're shit. The meat's like probably like 2-3 inches thick on it, loaded with fat. And that had absolutely no effect on my blood sugars whatsoever. Right here is where I was telling you about not walking. I live off grid, so I got to plug my electricity into my smoker, so I couldn't go for my walk this morning. That's kind of what deterred everything. I was like, you know what, fuck it. Why don't I just take the day off? But as the evening came, I was like, I don't want to take the day off. I want to walk because it makes me feel better. So I went from 100 milligrams per deciliter. This is a 30-minute walk. That 30-minute walk got me from 100 all the way down to 79. So that's a fucking nice deal there. And this is why I always say, guys, you've seen the push-ups, you've seen the walk. Look at how you're traveling around with your blood sugars at this point. Go for a walk every day, at least once, ideally twice. Platinum, go 3 times for 30-minute walks, and you're going to keep seeing the shit where your blood sugar just, bam, drops down. You're spending that gas in your gas tank. So right now, currently, oh my God, it's already 8:30. I got to give my daughter a bath and everything, get ready for work tomorrow. But currently I'm sitting here at 8:23 p.m. and we're at 98 milligrams per deciliter. And guys, this is a perfect day of perfect blood sugars. And this is what I wanted you guys to achieve. And I know it's achievable for you. That's why I make these videos, so you guys can literally see for yourself in real time what it looks like to reverse type 2 diabetes. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow, and have a great night.